Hey guys, what's up? So, I currently have a cold, and now I am convinced that this movie gave it to me. Songbird is a cash grab exploitation film that was initially released about 4 months ago, but it was just added to Hulu a few days ago, and I had the displeasure of watching it. And oh boy. This movie doesn't just make the actors look bad. It doesn't just make the director look bad. It doesn't just make Hollywood look bad, but it makes humanity as a whole look bad. I'm serious. This movie is literally everything that is wrong with Hollywood and movie making these days. Lazy, terrible script, bad directing, bad acting, trend-chasing garbage. I truly can't believe this movie was made. I mean, who was this made for? Who? People who like apocalyptic movies? No, it fails at that. People who lost family members to COVID? People who lost their jobs due to the pandemic? Nope, it will offend them. People who like good movies? Nope, it fails at being that. Who is this for? Why in the did this happen? Was it because the director looked at what we were going through as a nation and he was just so compelled to tell this important narrative? Hell no! He made it to jump on a trend and make money. They admitted that they came up with the idea for this in late March. A month and a half into the pandemonium and insanity of the pandemic, these people got together and thought, hey, let's make a movie about this. But not a movie that is trying to tell a compelling story of people's survival and the human condition through tragedy. No. Let's Hollywood it up and make it COVID-23 and make it like a zombie apocalypse movie where the earth is desolated. Wouldn't that be cool? No. It's not cool. I'm not the type of person who tells people what to do with their money. You can do whatsoever you want with the money that you've earned in this life, and the budget was admittedly very low on this, but they wasted around $1 million making this piece of shit film. Out of all the ways you can spend $1 million, they used it to capitalize on people's fears, and the whole concept of it just doesn't sit well with me. Now, maybe the pandemic hasn't been as fatal as we initially thought it was going to be, and you can question the lockdown and think whatever you want. But there was total and utter chaos last year. It was a wild, wild time, and instead of contributing to society in a positive way, they said, hey, let's make a movie about this shit. And not a documentary, not an educational film, but a zombie apocalypse movie where the main character punches guys in hazmat suits and saves his girlfriend from an evil villain. They should be embarrassed. Every single actor, writer, producer, editor, and contributor to this film should be genuinely embarrassed for themselves. And I wouldn't be so upset with this movie if it had something to say, if it were competently made. But it's not. There are so many inconsistencies and terrible elements in this movie that it's astonishing. All of the exposition and plot details of this world are given to us either by news anchors or YouTubers. They literally just start the movie off with a voiceover, and then people will occasionally be watching the news or YouTubers who go, hey, the virus has gotten crazy, guys. The death toll is up to 56%, guys. Sick people go to the Q zone, guys. Oh, it was so lazy and frustrating. And this movie was less than an hour and a half long, but it felt like 2 hours easily. It moved at a quick pace, but nothing was happening. Hollow characters that I don't care about just kept video chatting each other until a couple of immune characters got to be on screen together. And it was so horrible. You know, out of all the locations that I want to see get infected by a virus, Los Angeles is on the bottom of that list. It's set in Los Angeles again, and it's such a tired trope at this point. But strangely, There are no people on the street at all. I get that only immune people can walk freely, but we see 0 people in public except for this one bike courier delivering packages. It was ridiculous. There aren't cops marching the streets forcing people back in their homes. There's just no people. Except for this one hot, sexy man, of course. And this guy is the main character. I already forgot his name, but he is immune to the virus, so he wears this yellow immunity bracelet, but it's such a dumb concept. Because there would be people hiding everywhere waiting for people like him to go by, so that they could mug him and take the bracelet. They do check the bracelet sometimes to prove that you own it, but they don't always. Early in the movie, some soldiers just let him by because he shows it to them. They don't check it to prove it's his. So the fact that there aren't people constantly prowling the streets to steal these bracelets is so unrealistic. And for some reason, the soldiers call him Muni Scum because he's immune, and it made me laugh in the worst way. This movie tried to go from being an apocalyptic drama in the beginning, to a pseudo-heartbreaking love story in the middle, to a full-on action thriller in the end, and it failed at being all 3. There was a montage in the end, where it's showing all the main characters getting a happy ending, and it was trying so hard to make us think that they earned it and they went on this long character journey, and it made me shit my pants. It genuinely made a little poop squirt out of my rectum onto the bed, and now this movie owes me new bed sheets. Good lord, it was so bad! Every single element of this movie fails. It was boring, inconsistent, lazy, disrespectful, ugly, poorly written, poorly acted, and an overall asinine masterpiece of awful. Not only is this one of the worst movies I've seen in the past few years, it may be one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. I really try to find at least one thing that I enjoy in every film that I watch, but I honestly couldn't do it with this one. There was not a single moment that I enjoyed in this movie. So, Songbird gets 0 out of 10 pickles from me. A colossal failure on every level, and I implore you not to watch it. It's not even so bad that it's funny, it's just bad. Please, don't give them a view and reward their incompetence like I did. People make mistakes. It's okay. We're all human. But this was a monumental mistake, and one that I cannot forgive. I say this from the bottom of my heart. Songbird, f*** you.